Good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing this morning? Hey, forget about it. Hey, Purdue. Nano, how are you doing, sir? Good morning, good morning. Good afternoon to everybody in Europe and the UK. Hope everyone's doing well. Hey, Kevin, Mike. Aloha, aloha. Alexander, how you doing, brother? Oh, boy. Mr. Simpson and AJ, how you guys doing? Welcome, everyone, to the Trading Syndicate. I'm JJ, and this is our session for RTH. It's Thursday already. Thursday already. And we're kind of stuck here, folks. It's not been the greatest Globex session. Been very choppy. What I'm really looking for, and I might be dreaming, I'm really looking for a break of 67.92. But I'll show you why in a little bit. Hey, I'm listening. Timo, what's going on? All right? Oh, it's a real dog's breakfast. And let's go through this, and now you'll see why the market's acting the way it is. Yesterday, everybody from yesterday is trapped long under 67.92. And we have tried. Whoop, that's a little big. We've been trying. We tried, right? Three lows all going up. We tried. So every single attempt that we've tried to get down here, we can't even break 67.95 for very long. We broke it for 2 ticks to establish the early overnight low. Hey, Jiraj. Hey, Ronan. So anyway, that's where the bid is currently. Okay. Overnight inventory, according to this chart, is short because the blue stuff is the cost basis underneath the close. But on corrections, we have selling here, here, and here. Not the greatest trading environment. You know, it's basically an 8-point range, right? Back and forth in that box. So let's see what happens when we break it loose. What happened yesterday was, this is a classic catcher's mitt trade. We had this inventory here. It's sold off into a B profile, right? So it was like a catcher's mitt, as Don Miller would say. And all of that inventory got liquidated, not all of it, but a good amount of it. Liquidated into wholesale positions, back up. But here's the problem. A lot of people got short under 67.65. And they added to it. And now they're tapped out. And they're bid to cover 92. And we just cannot get underneath. So that's the problem right now. The problem is that this market is trapped. Right? Lower highs would be great. We could lose some liquidation, Tim. So maybe do your liquidation dance. Let's see if we can get this thing a little lower. Right? We've got the shorts locked in the basement. Right? Just like one of those weird old-time scary movies. The nice thing about market profile is that it shows the structure. And the structure shows you where people are trapped long and short. Yeah, exactly, Raj. Stuck in the middle. I've been doing a lot of one-on-ones today. I haven't taken a single trade this morning. I haven't even taken a test trade. Uh, just been, I've just, every time I came by and looked at the market, I kind of, I, I, I missed my entry, right? So I would, here, I'll show you. Like, yeah, it tests your patience. I, I kind of look at the other way, Rosemark. And I don't know how this will resonate with you guys. But at my age now, I kind of I kind of enjoy a day off, right? You know, I can work on other things. I've got a couple of projects I'm working on. Uh, I did a bunch of one-on-ones, right, with the mentorship people. And every time I was like, hey, maybe I'll take a trade. And I'd look at, like, I missed one here, right? Where was it? Right, I missed this one. And that was really it. And then I kind of missed this one. This I came back and I looked at it and I was like, no. It's just been like this has been not tradable for me, right? Time off's not a bad thing. What time off does is it keeps you fresh for when opportunity comes. Right? It's not that I haven't been watching, it's just that I haven't been trading because every time it comes close to one of my setups, the phone will ring or something will happen or I'll get distracted. So it's not opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. It has not been great trading. Which after a while, you kind of become okay with that. Because what it does is it allows you to stay sharp for when you got to turn on the jets. Well, let's see if we can break anything loose in this session. I might get a trade or two. But for right now, market's a little confused. It really doesn't know what to do. Right? We're still distributing. So if you looked at the volume from yesterday or 2 days ago, right? So we had 1.2 million contracts, and that's, you know, we had pretty good buying retention. We only had 2 days above 60, 67, 65 quarter. So we took all of this and we sold it up here, 800,000 contracts, another 123,000. So maybe we're out, maybe net 400 or 500,000 because it's a two-way business, right? You got to buy to hold it up. So we're distributing. We're distributing the liquidated inventory from the 7th. Basically here, right? Distribution is tough to trade when it gets choppy. Oracle? Do I have an Oracle chart? Ah, it's trading in the gap. Let's see if it fills it. I should do some levels. What was the other deal of the week? AMD. You're looking for over 237.80 at AMD if it can hold that. You're looking at a long, maybe a gap fill long, Lear. That'd be nice. Crabapple, 257. Palantir. Tesla's come off a little bit. Tesla. See if they can keep that puppy over 422. Hey, Al, what's going on? Not much going on today. Not much going on. Don't we have Powell talking today? Yes, you're right, call it. We do have single prints underneath us. 76 to 84 quarter. And where are the other ones? Do we only have one set of singles? There's only one set of single prints in yesterday's profile. It's going to be choppy when the market opens, folks. Okay? It's going to be choppy. Don't get your underwear in a twist. Okay? It's going to be choppy. Just relax. Take it easy. Wait for your A plus setup, right? Enjoy watching. If you're a person who gets really rattled by watching a market and it's ultra choppy, get away from the screen, right? But you got to train yourself not to get rattled. You got to train yourself to look at markets objectively and not always be rooting around for a trade. Here's something that might help. You know when you sign up to a contest or you sign a contract, there are terms and conditions? As a trader, you should have terms and conditions under which you do business. And if the trade does not match those terms and conditions, they're not getting your money, right? So you're like, you will only get my money when these terms and conditions are met. If they're not, get out of here. Just get away from me, right? You know, it's like the guy coming up to you, under the Empire State Building with the really cheap fake Rolexes. You're like, get away from me, right? I'm not buying what you're selling. Just get away from me, right? And you got to be like that. You got to be a bit of a price action snob. That way, you won't have this FOMO feeling like you're missing out. Be a little snooty. Hola, Gabriel. How you doing? Yeah. This micro chop barcode, get out of here with that. Right? You take that price action and shove it where the sun don't shine. Come back to me when you got something to show me, right? Be like that, right? And yeah, there's nothing to miss out on. Exactly, right? PAL, is that Palladium, Lear? Or is that a stock? Hmm. Yeah, the gold bugs are going to be happy. The gold bugs are going to be very happy this fall. And after 50 years, they're due, right? I know guys for 30, 40 years who have been, you kids don't know anything, gold, blah, 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 it's going to go to 5,000 an ounce, and you mark my words. 10 years later, you guys don't know what you're talking about. Gold's going to, right? Oh, man. Oh, the PDAC is not till next year in March. You guys know what the PDAC is, right? It's the Prospector and Developers Association of Canada. They have that in Toronto. The world's premier mineral exploration and mining convention. You guys ever been to a mining convention? They're a hoot. They used to be in the old days. Well, I hope the guys who have been long gold for decades can sell some. You know, get some cash out of it. And I will repeat, if anybody out there owns a piece of moose pasture where we can throw up a drill rig, maybe some nice placer mining or something like that. Do a little, the little gold deal on the side. It could help, right? As long as it's not in Canada. 'Cause I don't want to do a 43101 technical report. There's a lot of commercials on TV to buy gold, I can imagine, eh? Hey. Higher lows on what? On gold? Tilt. JJ ever been to Regina? Is that a trick question? Because that's where I grew up, Tilt. Indeed, I have gone to Regina, and if you watch my Twitter feed, you'll see I'm always reposting Regina Rams, University of Regina when the football team wins. Yes, I grew up in Regina. Is that where you're from? Because if you are, we probably know each other. Higher lows? Yeah, we're getting a little stuck here. Yeah, that low's higher, higher lows. Yeah, it's higher lows and lower highs, and that's really it. It's just brutal, brutal, brutal. This is what happens when markets get out of hand on the upside too quickly, right? Everybody's stunned that it's up from yesterday and 2 days ago. See, everybody shorted the crap out of this thing under 67.65, and they were all looking for, 6,700, and it turned and went the other way because we only had 2 days of inventory to clean out. You got a crazy story centered around Regina? That's okay. Oh, carnivore kid in Cuba, New Mexico. No, we're talking Regina, Saskatchewan carnivore kid. Canada, one of the coldest places in the world. So, you guys better ask lots of questions. It's going to be a slow day. Maybe Powell will say something outrageous. Yeah, it's okay, carnivore kid, no problem. It's not that bad. Maybe I'm just used to it. Yeah, we could use a time quake. -3 in Calgary. It's coming, isn't it? I don't even know what he's supposed to be talking about. But it's not affecting the tape at all. Good grief. And like I said, overnight inventory is short because the volume and time point of control are just a couple of ticks underneath the close. So technically, inventory is short. And as Raj dutifully pointed out about 5-10 minutes ago, the lows are getting higher, which means the bid is following the offer. The buyers are following the sellers up. But we're going to get a little bit of a crowded parking lot at 5 and 6. And the price action right now, pre-market, is probably the slowest I've seen it in a long time. Yes. Can I speak about yesterday's profile? I'd be happy to. Thanks for the question, S-Pill. Appreciate that. So let me just get rid of... Okay, so yesterday we get this P profile. Okay? So we have shorts trapped here, shorts trapped here, shorts trapped here. Now you have a flat top on it. Why would you have a flat top? The top is flat because you had sellers competing in here. So that's why you got that flat top. You got a poor high. You didn't get any extension like this, right? But in essence, what's gone on is we took these 2 days of liquidating supply. We caught them here, resold it up here, and we're still selling it in the evening session going into the morning. There's no continuation. Do you know why, S-Pill? Because the only people who are buying here and buying here are the people who have to buy. There's no voluntary buying up here. So the people who are buying up here are short sellers who are covering and FOMO longs. There's not a lot of smart money buying up here. No, hey, Josh, that's a good question. If we get an all-time high in the overnight, but do not take it in RTH, right? They still consider that to be that we need to go and clean that up. So if we can't take out, like say we open here, and we can't take out the overnight high, market profile people will wait for that later on at some other date to get taken. They say that the all-time high has to be, now this is not my rule. This is the old guys who created market profile. They say that for it to be an all-time high, it has to be made when the New York Stock Exchange is open. That's their rule. And their reasoning behind it is because there's less competition at night. You can bully the market with less capital and move things around without anybody blocking you. Right? When the cat's away, the mice will play. So what do you need to use the all-time high for? Are you trying to program something? Yeah, it's been a while since those books were written. Hey, Mike. Good morning. Okay, cool. So, folks, tomorrow, just so you know, there will be no 9 a.m. session tomorrow. Unfortunately, I have to go to the cardiologist, and they didn't care that I had a YouTube session. So they weren't. I'm like, can I make it any other time? They're like, get in here. I'm like, okay. So tomorrow there will be no YouTube session in the afternoon. Hey, I tried. Yes, Gabrielle, remember didn't you email me and we're supposed to talk tomorrow? I'm pretty sure that was you, wasn't it? Yeah, so we'll have a call, we'll have a chat tomorrow. We'll go over that. Just let me know what time's good for you. Sounds good. Are you in Brazil? And we're off. Argentina. Cool. Just relax. Let the trade come to you. Sorry, got to get the 1 minute chart on there. Apologies. Yeah, my soccer references are not that good, my friend. I grew up in North America. Mind you, I'm living in Liverpool now. They're crazy about it here. So a little back and forth between 3 and 6. Looking for the previous day high. If we take out the previous day high at 7 3/4, look for 9. Come, they're selling into it. Let's see how desperate they need to sell. If they don't need to sell, if they get some buyers, we'll go trade at 9, close to 9 anyway. There's 8 3/4. There's 9, 9 1/4. And they'll sell into that. Now let's see if it can hold. Can we hold this level here? If we can't hold above 7, look for 5. Not a lot of meat on the bone here. Would you say that when we transition to 24-hour equity markets, we can disregard Dalton's opinion? Yeesh. I haven't really thought about it that much, Nano. The one good thing about 24-hour equity trading is we're going to have an advantage where most equity traders don't. There'll be overnight inventory. So you might get some good long short trades off the open. Right? Just like you do now. I mean, the markets are open at 5 a.m. London time. Not 5 a.m., 9 a.m. The equity markets. 24-hour trading is going to be interesting. A lot of unknowns. So we did come down to 5. We're sort of parked above VWAP. And I'm not getting any sense of direction yet. Let's say if we can't get back up over 6, I'd look to take a little short. I'm watching this 5-6 area here, the open. You know what we need, Michelle? We need some liquidation. That's what's making it sticky, right? It's sticky because there's nobody selling anything up here, which is a problem, right? So say we're short at 4. Remember I said we're going to do a little rotation down, right? So I hit two micros out at 4, and I got one of them back at 2 3/4, and I'm bid there for the second one. I'm not getting it, so I think I'm just going to take the offer and flatten the trade there. Yeah, the reason why we have this sticky price action is because at all-time highs, a lot of people sit out and don't participate. They kind of let the suckers go and get ground up. Short was based on the fact that we couldn't take out the open, Jiraj. I haven't taught you that yet. I was saying if it can't get above the open, I'll take a little short. And that was a test trade to see whether my brain was working. That's the first trade I've done all day. Like literally since 5 o'clock this morning. And it's 20 to 3 now. So I haven't exactly been doing rock star trades today, right? I've missed a lot of trades, right? Amazon guy came, missed a trade. Went to the bathroom, missed a trade, right? So, but it's okay. I don't mind relaxing, right? I'm working on that. You know how I've been working on the pre-trade checklist? Well, I'm trying to work on the pre and during trade checklist. Trying to standardize that to make it a little bit more practical for you guys. And I'm also working on the holding trades longer, but this market is not helping. Oh, that's great, S&P. Good to hear. It's always nice to hear people doing well. Wicked. Previous day close, Jiraj, is a place where there will be a lot of orders. So if you're under the previous day close and you come up to the close, you can assume that there'll be some sell orders there. So that's why I took that trade. My stop was just a tick or two above the previous day close. I mean the open, sorry, the open, not the close. I was looking at the open. Sorry. Candles are getting smaller. Can't get underneath VWAP. Looks like we're going to rotate back up. Let's see if we can get over the open. Watch the open now, Jiraj. Right? Watch. As we come to the open, you see the price getting knocked down, knocked down, knocked down. That means there's a seller at the open. Just like I taught you on the chart. A lot of common references that everybody can see. Those are places where orders will stack up. Everybody can see yesterday's close. Everybody can see the open. Everybody can see the previous day high and low. So those are very, very common execution areas. That's where a lot of orders will stack up because everybody can see it. That's why you look for a reaction. If there's no reaction, then the market's trying to tell you that there's no orders there, and you can use it, to help you trade. Man, we're only 10 minutes in. Whew. Told you it was going to be slow. What's the hot stock this morning? The big gapper. Where's all the dollar volume? That's why I want you to watch markets, Jiraj. Right? So you watch that open, you watch the close, watch the reaction, write it down. See what I mean? Don't think about taking a trade there just yet. Just watch and see what's going on. We're trying to develop your powers of observation. Does it go right through? Like just now, it just went right through, then right back up over it. So now you know that there are buyers and sellers at the close. So you let them work that area out, so you stay away from it. That's why we practice, we want you to just do the look below and fail, because there's so much back and forth action here. You can't take a trade. Here at least you know when it goes underneath and comes back up that the sell orders under 99 are done. VWAP, the close, trading those references, they're great places to close a trade, not to initiate. Unless it's really, really obvious. There we go. Under 99, we're targeting 96 and a quarter. Down here. Good stuff, Lear. Let's see if we could get you 3-4 points out of that. Come on down. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right. Little bit of short covering at 97, 97 and a half. Jumping the gun. That's annoying. Come on, sell into it. When we get down to 67.94, if we can get to that, sorry, 94 and a half down to the overnight low, that's going to tell us how short everybody is from yesterday. Because if we get down here and it can't print 94 half and it stops and turns, then we know the short position's fairly sizable. If we do a look below and fail, it's another story, and then a look below and go tells us the short position's not that big. See, look at that. So how you look at this is where you expect buying, right? This is where you expect the buying. If the price goes and stops before that level, it means that people are jumping the line and front running. That means they're desperate to buy. Nobody's desperate to buy a market that drops unless they're covering a short with size. Don't worry about all that, Jiraj. Just watch the offer, man. When it's on sale, you've got competition. When there's no sale, there's no competition. The market will go up. Just like when you're at work. Just like when you're at work. Keep it really simple. Right? So now the offer is coming lower. they're competing, right? If they're forced to sell lower, we're going to take out 95 there, right? Here's that overnight low. This is exactly, just watch this now. See how it just pauses one tick before? That's front running. Then they're going to sell into it, right? They're going to sell into the front run because they've got to sell that size, right? There was still in distribution. Let's see if that low holds. Took a while there, but there's a good, nice 5 points. Beautiful. So do you see how they came in and bought before that low? They front ran that low. Do I expect it to hold? Probably not right now. Watch. Let's go give it a love tap. See what happens when you give it a tap. Come on. See, someone's got an appetite 2 ticks up. Right, 3,000 contracts. Boom. Let's try it again. There we go. Watch the reaction. Just watch. Relax and watch, right? 1 tick. And then there's a seller at 96 and a quarter. So it's coming back down. So now if it stays under that overnight low, Jiraj, look for 92. That's all you got to do. Right? So you're a look below and fail trader. Guess what? Coffee time for you, my friend. Right? You're a look below and fail trader. The market is correcting inventory to the downside. Your job is to not do anything stupid. Right? Just wait for that look below and fail. Now, if it comes back up over 96 and a quarter, you know that there are going to be sellers here at 97.5. So you have to determine whether or not that trade is good for you. Right? See, look, it hit that to the tick. How did I know there was going to be a seller there? Well, it takes one to know one. Right? Takes one to know one. Right? So if the next candle holds 96 and stays in the blue zone, you can take a little long because we'll probably go tickle to 99.75. Right? Now it's going to rotate back down because it can't hold 96 quarter. Watch that overnight low. See if it holds. They're selling, but they're not selling aggressively. Where's the point of control? What's up here? 4,100 contracts. Let's see if we can put some size on the fire here. Look at that. See, Jiraj? There you go. Right? Okay, we got a seller at 99. That's okay. That's okay. We're close. Well, I'm off by a tick. Right? So that rotation, the target was off by 1 tick. Right? So the seller lifted. Exactly. So there we go. You got a fresh round of suckers. Right? Lift price, lift price. Just stick to the setup, man. There's beauty in the setup. If you just stick to the setup and practice the setup, don't overthink this stuff. Right? Don't overthink it. Throw the ball, hit the ball, catch the ball. Right? Look above and fail of 99 and 3/4. We should rotate back down somewhere under 97 if it's rotational. Here we go. So your job, my friend, is to find a rotation, and for now, just take the look below and fail of the rotation. Hey, Hank, how you doing? Just make sure you sell into strength and you cover into weakness. Right? Right? It's all you got to do. Get rid of your product. Right? Just like that song says, so they don't catch you riding dirty. Right? In and out. Take your profit. In and out. Take your profit. Rinse and repeat. Keep it going. It's okay, Howard. Well done. Well done. Well done. Back down under 96 again. Shall we go test the overnight low? Boom! Hello. uh, that, my friend, is seller competition. Oh. I knew we were going to test the overnight low again, but I didn't think it was going to get that heated. Well, that's good. Hey, maybe Powell said something. That is what we call a stray order. Mark, that is what we call a stray order. Somebody wanted out of some contracts and didn't want to mess around, so they just banged it out. As they said in the old days, I'm banging them out with both hands. Right? That was much needed. That is what we call an aggressive seller. And boy, we wondered if they all went the way of the dodo bird. No, Raj, not on margin clerk. We're at all-time highs, brother. There's no margin selling here, my friend. That was just somebody who wanted out. Liquid. Right? You got a couple of thousand contracts to get rid of and you want to get out in a hurry. You see competition that's not, you're not selling as fast as you can, and you just bang it out. There's 88. So we're under 92, right? Which is good, right? That was that level here, Raj. Right? Now that's not a margin clerk at all-time highs. It'd be more of a buy-in if it was a margin clerk at all-time highs. Yep. You okay with that, Raj? Gonna take that 88 stop. Finally, finally, finally. Expect a bid at 84 and a quarter. Timmy at his desk was still eating his bagel. Man, I haven't had a bagel in years. Now we're still looking for the bid. Let's see where we find it. Oh, Oh, good. At least it kind of unstuck itself, right? So now all of the inventory from yesterday and the overnight is above us. So let me see. I'm looking lower. Or am I short? Trying to get short. See, as soon as we get to those single prints, look at the bids come in. Boom, 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 boom. Right? See if I can sell some here at 88. We're okay unless... Oh, look at these bastards that grabbed all the product here. Did you see that? Right, I shorted 88, right, against 88 and three quarters. And then as soon as I saw all of that volume come in, I flattened the trade because I just saw them sucking up those contracts like a frickin' vacuum cleaner. Rat bastards. Because I was trying to short 88 down to the 84, right? Bastards. And then I just saw all of that volume come in, and I flattened it. I lost a few ticks, but nice work, Colin. Nice work. Well done. Let's see. Look below and fail of 89 and a quarter. Can we get it up to 92? So we found some bids between 86 and 80, 89, didn't we? If you're long, if we get past 93, you're looking for that 94, 94 and a half area. Yeah, there's that seller right there. Well done, Colin. Beautiful. J. Bob would be proud, Colin. J. Bob would be proud. Let's see if the next candle can hold 89 and a quarter. Give it some time. See, they're not getting that rush of volume yet that I saw in the first move down. Let's see if we tease them underneath 89. Will they come in? Will they come in for size? Not yet. Might take some time to clean this up down here. It's interesting. I've noticed a couple of things today. Not trading as much as I usually do. Like on that first move up, I was like, wow, you really saw the volume come in hot and heavy. As soon as we got down to the 86 area. The second move down, you weren't seeing that much size come in as fast as it did the first time. That was really quite surprising. That's something I'm going to rewind later on. For those of you who use chart replay, that'll make a big difference in your trading. I'll try and do a video on that later on. I mean, this green box is just full of short bids, so these aren't dedicated buyers. If they see size coming in at them, they will drop their buy orders all the way down here, and this box will fill quick. If this thing starts to drop and we fill the singles, the natural place to look for bids would be 67, 68, way down here. So now what I'd be looking for, before I even considered thinking about a long, I want the point of control to move down to show good absorption. And I also want price to get up over 89 and a quarter. Otherwise, they can go away. I'm not interested. Let's see if that seller at 88 and 3/4 is still there. Yep. Not aggressive, but still there. Oh, I think definitely it could drop to 57. You know why, AO? Because this is all speculative garbage that we're trading right now. Like, none of this is like, this is just a lot of really, really well capitalized people who are just having a hell of a party. You know, these are people who are, these ranges are insane. It's all speculative. Everything in the market right now is just huge speculation. And that's why, because the ranges are big. These people have sophistication, capital, skill, technology, right? It's been a difficult market the last 3 months, ever since summer ended. And I told you guys that this would be a challenge, right? And you'd have to prepare. I've been trading way less. Yesterday I had a good trade. The day before I had a good trade. If I get one good trade a day, I'm very happy for it. There's I mean, look at what they drove gold. Look at the way they drove the gold market. That's all speculation. Was there a way to foresee this move down? A break of 92, Gabriel, like I've been saying for um, pretty much since last night. See ya, Hank. Have a good one. There's just so much speculative money in this market now that these people are they're goosing everything, right? Goose gold, goose down. Today somebody said platinum. There's always a flavor of the day where capital will flow. Looking for a long if we can clear 90. There is going to be a seller at 92 and three quarter though. What's speculative money? Okay, well there's investment money, Scalp King, and those are people who buy positions and hold them for investment purposes for decades. And then there's shorter term money. But then there's spec money, people who play fast and hard with big money, hundreds of millions of dollars. And they're the ones who run the show in ES, NQ, gold, oil. It's all speculation, right? And it's like speed dating, right? They're not long-term players. They're in and out, use them, abuse them, get in, get out. What is Zero Suit? What does she say? Hit it and quit it. Do I agree with your system? Well, it's not really a system, AO. It's the business. So the way I trade is not really a system. It's just the way the business works, right? Grab a bunch of cheap crap, sell it at a higher price. The difference is profit. If you run out of buyers, put it on sale. I mean, that's how the market works, right? So I just trade alongside. And it works on anything that has inventory and order flow. These big money people, they're not profit. They don't care about your stops. If they're working a 20, 50, $100 million position, they don't care about your three minis or your micros, right? They have their own method of trading, and that thing about them taking profits off your stops, that's like 1990s kind of stuff, right? They have algos, you know, that sniff out order flow and react, right? We got a bit of a rotation going here now, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see here. There's our little rotation, right? We're going to sit and catch. See, look, the point of control moved down. See? Stupid. Right? Take that point of control, move it down here, get some good absorption. And now, once we got a position together, hey, Dan. Uh, we're going to take that and try and sell it up here. Scalp. No NASDAQ. You know what? It's too thin a book for me to trade. I think with me, I'm at an age that I don't need that fast moving action. I like boring money. I like nice, quiet, boring money. Right? I'm sure there is. It's like battle of those robots that they have, right, William? But good thing is, it doesn't really matter to us. All we do is we have a set way of doing business, right? When the terms and conditions of are met, we take the trade, right? We have a stop, so if the poop hits the fan, we're gone, right? We have a business reason to go long. Once that business reason no longer exists, we're gonzo, right? If the business reason continues to hold, stay in the trade, right? So this is a look below and fail of 89.25, but we can't get over 90 because there's a seller. Once we clear 92 and stay above it, right? That'd be nice. We can get up, right? So if you're positioned long here, your outs are 85, you need a bigger account, but you should be a seller's. You need to be on the offer. If this thing gets over 92 and 3/4, for the love of God, be on the offer, right? See? Hit 92, boom, seller. Not ready yet. Have I known a profitable trader who only looks at the time and sales window? Yeah, I know hundreds of them, but they're all dead. Or in the old folks' home. Or selling burritos in Denver. Yeah, tons of them. I've known lots of profitable traders who look at time and sales. Or growing lavender, exactly. Oh, they are, Dave. There's all the old guys who taught me. They're all tape readers, right? Uh, I like watching the time and sales if I'm watching a stock because I can tell a lot about what's going on in a stock by the time and sales. Not so much in the ES because the ES has a fixed spread, right? But in a stock, you can see when the spread starts getting bigger, there's a change of business. You can see when they're price improving. You can see when they're backfilling. Are they backfilling with a give up? So you can tell if it's an offshore seller or an onshore seller, right? Stocks that have offshore sellers generally trade different than stocks that have onshore sellers, right? Well, there's a lot of stuff that you won't know that's going on in the time and sales window that's going on. That's the problem with a lot of this data, right? There's a lot of data for you to look at when you're trading. Unfortunately, you haven't been taught how to read the data properly. So people will look at time and sales, they'll look at level twos, they'll look at order books, and they'll come up with some wackadoodle theory, right? That's just like, and I'll be sitting there going, man, if you believe that, the moon's made out of green cheese, I could sell you a slice for $1 million. But in all seriousness, yeah, the time and sales is just there right now as a speedometer. Tells you if the market's moving fast or if it's moving slow, right? We're going to come test these single prints again, I think. Let's see where the bid is. If we get a B profile like we did on 2 days ago, that'll be it. That'll be quite funny. Yeah, so time and sales when you're looking at equities is quite helpful. But unfortunately, there's not a lot of stuff written about how to decipher it properly, right? Or taught. Like, have any of you who are on this call right now, you ever heard of a give up with a backfill? Manual entry versus auto entry? You guys don't even know what the hell I'm talking about, right? So that information, you'll see it, but it'll be meaningless to you, right? I mean, yeah, exactly, Bugatti, right? You might as well, I might as well just be saying French toast. Yeah, you're wrong, Tilt. Isn't that a yoga position? So a backfill is in equity trading. Sometimes you'll see, say you see 10,000 shares at $1 print, and then you see another print of 10,000 shares at $1. Well, that's a double print. So that means that the market maker is making the sale and then printing the transaction to the client account. If the price is the same, and it happens at exactly the same second on the tape, the order has been placed in the machine. If the backfill happens a couple of seconds later, it means the market maker has manually entered it from his keyboard. Generally, in those cases, there'll be a give up. A give up is a difference in price. So the market maker is being paid to represent the order. Now, market makers don't get paid to represent orders from U.S. customers. They only do it for offshore orders, right? Now, all of this stuff is not going to make you a dime as a retail trader. But if you were looking to maybe finance the company or something like that, then it would tell you a lot. It would tell you if they have an offshore funder. And that tells you that the CEO is likely to make a deal. And he's desperate. What can we expect if we get another B profile? Another move up, possibly, Rudy. It's still early. I was making a joke. I'm not expecting it to happen. If it happens, then I've cursed the short sellers. I was actually just making a joke. The thing is, you got to look at how much inventory is trapped above 67.95. Just yesterday and the overnight, right? It's only like a day and a half of inventory. Man, this is slow. See, getting in and out of trades quick, Fred, is a good thing to do. Do you know why I want people to trade quick? Not so they can get into trades quickly, but I want them to train themselves how to get out of a bad trade quickly. Because the longer you hesitate while you're in a bad situation, the worse the situation gets. In fact, it gets exponentially worse the longer you delay. So that's why I want you guys to be able to get out of bad situations like a pilot gets out of bad situations. So the pilot's not sitting there going, I don't know, there's some turbulence. Should I do this? Uh-oh, the plane's going down. What do I do? Right? We want to train ourselves, right, to get out of bad situations quickly without even thinking, right? So you're not stuck like a deer in the headlights. Oh, this is good. This is healthy liquidation. The the faster that you could admit that you made a mistake or that this is not a good place for you to be, the quicker you'll get out and the more money you'll save. It's simple. The more stubborn you are, oh, it's going to cost you some money. Being stubborn in this business is expensive. Oof. Exactly, Alex. Nice work. Down 42 points. Wow. Well, good thing to get green, but man, that's a lot of points to be down. Well done. Next time we'll try and keep you from being down that much. Smart, Nano. Take the money and run, brother. You're gonna take losses. You're gonna get scratched out. You're gonna get stopped out. It happens. That's the cost of doing business. Just don't forget to lock the store. Oh. Well, back and forth, back and forth. At least we got some action. That's okay. Some days, like I've scalped today, I've maybe made cab fare, but that's okay. I had good days all week, so all I got to do is not do anything stupid, right? So I've had 3 good days. Today I'm kind of off my game. I'm not down with the short just yet. Market hasn't gone sideways enough for me to do a look below and fail or put a position together. So I'll just let it sell off and wait, right? And if I don't make what I usually make in a day or anywhere near it, I'm not upset because tomorrow's another day. All I've got to do is not do anything stupid and lose a bunch of money that I have to come back tomorrow and battle back twice as hard, right? I would rather be flat than broke, right? Because I've got money to trade with. Clients aren't upset. And there's nothing wrong with my psyche. Like, I'm not freaking out, right? Because I painted myself into a corner financially, right? And that's pretty much it for today. Boy. We'll probably have some single prints to the downside. Forget about it. When we're done here, I'll hit you up for the call. And I will see the rest of you tomorrow in Globex. And remember, tomorrow I will not be having an afternoon session or a morning session at 9. But I will be around if you need. Thanks, Mike. Thanks. Don't worry if you're not making a lot of money today. Just don't lose a lot. Okay? And we'll see the rest of you in the morning for the Globex session. Thank you, everyone. Come visit us at thetradingsyndicate.org. We have a lot of interesting stuff coming your way, and we have this new AI trading coach thing, I think, which will, from what I'm seeing, I think it'll be a great resource for retail traders. So stay tuned. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you in a little bit. Trade safe out there. Bye for now.